So this is the last segment I'm going to do on the London Bass Guitar Show 2019. I actually was digging out my old bass guitar magazines the other day, and I found this one from 2014, and it's all about the London Bass Guitar Show 2014, the special issue. There's an interview in there that I did with Dougie Pointer from McFly. I'm going to do a little post on Dougie in the next few days, maybe next week or so, because he's got a new book out and it's really interesting, it's very ethical. Back to London Bass Guitar Show. So the first person I saw when I arrived was Ellen O'Reilly. Ellen's a legend, she's a singing bass player, she's gigging around London all the time, so check out her Instagram and you can go and see her playing live. She's incredible. She teaches at ICMP as well. Ellen did some really interesting masterclasses, which I unfortunately was unable to attend, but the feedback was great. Anyway, Ellen sent me this video over and I'm just going to let it roll because it doesn't need any editing. It was just perfect. It's Ellen telling you a full experience of what the London Bass Guitar Show 2019 was like for her. Anyway, enjoy, and please go over to YouTube, like and subscribe my content, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, well, basically what the bass show was like, it was amazing. Loving the new venue, it's absolutely class. Love the fact that we're all together now with the guitarists as well. It's really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Just, it's basically just walking around hugging a load of people, isn't it? Like, I mean, just bumping into old friends and stuff that you've known from the shows. And I mean, the chances of actually getting to see much gear when you know so many people there is kind of slim. I think I saw Guy Pratt's new like signature model based on his Betsy, his Fender Jazz, the famous pink Betsy. I saw the new Mark basses, and I was talking to the lads there about a few things that they could do with them. I don't know, suggestions. The masterclasses were insane. So yeah, it was mad. I thought I was just doing one and suddenly it was two, and I had to just decide what's the second one going to be, and it had to be something different, they said. So the first one was about singing and playing bass at the same time, which is something I can waffle on about, no problem, you know. And that was great. The response was brilliant. Loads of people came in because, you know, it is useful. You do get, you know, a lot of work if you can sing BVs, especially if you can sing lead, you know. If you can do that, then, you know, loads of possibilities are open to you. So that was a massive success, much to my astonishment, you know. I was shocked by it, you know. I mean, who am I, you know? It was amazing. They were just coming in and kept coming in the windows and all this. It was brilliant, and we had a laugh. Then on the Sunday, my second class was about band leading as a bass player. Now, that is a very difficult subject to talk about. So what I did was, I got up and I gave the bass to my friend, Ghost, who was there in the audience. I just made him get up and play. Sure, he loves me. And I kind of did an example of what it's like to be a lead singer, given signals, you know what I mean? Like, go around again and get ready to stop and bring it up and bring it down, all this kind of crack, you know? So that's what that was like. And then I had to do it from bass player point of view without singing. So I just did it, which is a lot easier to do because you can just kind of look at the lads and say, right, you know, you can shout 3 stabs and then the nods and then do. Basically making sure the band is watching your every move, you know. And so that was that. Then I tried to do it while singing and playing bass, while singing lead and playing bass and band leading at the same time. So it was kind of like da, 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 and then just winking at the lads, you know, looking at them and saying, right, come on now, you know, hoping they can understand what I mean. And that's tricky. Then I tried to then be the front person as well, so I was doing 4 things at once, you know. Managed to get a room full of bass players to sing Roxanne, you know. I think that must be some sort of record, like. But it was absolutely brilliant. It was a great response. Still getting lovely messages from people saying, oh, I found it really useful and all that. And so hopefully get to do it again next year. I hope so. I really, really hope so. And the thing is, I'll have much more of a clue about what I'm doing. You know, trying to get the lads together to practice it, you know, I just couldn't get them. And that's the thing. Like, a few people were asking me, how often do you play with these guys? And it's very ad hoc, you know. I haven't played with Andy since our last original band jam, which was months ago. Michael, the last time I played with him was down at the Ealing Jam, you know, again, months ago. Or yeah, and then actually the last proper gig I did with him, I wasn't playing bass at all, I was lead singing. So, and someone else was playing bass. So just you can go a bit mad then, you know, you're unleashed. But yeah, it was a great response, absolutely loved it. And the whole show was just basically buzzing about meeting people. The Saturday night, the beers and the jam and the crack was absolutely mighty. Like, oh man, there was like a bluesy band playing and just kept stage invading. It was great, you know, love a bit of that. But yeah, back to the Sunday. What I did was I reiterated a lot of stuff from the Saturday, because there was a handful of people who came back, but a lot of the people were there were still mad to know about singing and playing bass at the same time. They were still wanting to know about that. So, and the thing is, I remember a friend was asking me, oh, how do you think about it? Do you count? Are you doing any of that? And to be honest with you, I'm not thinking at all. I am just vibing. Basically, I'm getting to know a bass line so well that it just sits in your motor memory and you're not thinking about it. So like, I wish I'm just do. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. It's just, and I'm not adding nothing flashy. I'm keeping it well simple. I'm just doing the basic bass line. Then I'm talking over it, blah blah blah. How are you? You know, all this kind of crack, and then start humming over it, start whistling or whatever you want to do, and then you can sing. You know. And they were like, "How do you remember lyrics?" And I was like, "I don't. Sometimes I make them up, and I have an iPad there as well, just to remind myself sometimes." But yeah, just absolutely brilliant experience, and yeah, hope I get to do it again next year, and yeah, I'll have a far more solid plan, I think, because on the morning the lads were like, on the Sunday morning the lads were like, "Ellen, what are we doing?" And I was like, "I don't know." I just kind of winged it. Where's the start? Where it's such a difficult subject to talk about. Like, how can you talk about for 45 minutes about, you know, bring it down? And I ended up rabbiting on for an hour as well. I got well out of control. And then on the Saturday though, I had a far clearer idea in my mind about what I was talking about, but I don't have any set way. I'm not like, I should say sitting with a metronome and I'm counting the bars and I'm doing all that, but I'm really not. Anyway, yeah, absolutely brilliant, great hangout, you know, as well. It's a great hangout, like, just see all your old bass buddies, you know, and reconnect with old friends, and as well as being a bass player, you never really get to kind of hang out and see each other. So it was nice to see you, Jack, and meet your lovely little girl, and see other people that you wouldn't necessarily get to see because you're either depping for them or you're on separate gigs. You know, we're not Spinal Tap. There's no two bass player situations. You know. And seeing guitarist friends, that was awesome. Actually, having those people around, buzzing around backstage, just hanging out with like Devin Townsend and Ariane Cap and, you know, Michael Montesir and all those guys. It's just it's just the best weekend in the diary to have, and it's it's nice that it's in the weekend that it is in September, and loving the venue. So yeah, all around good vibes.